Welcome to Keep What You Earn, a show for entrepreneurs and business owners who want to scale and build enterprise value without making costly mistakes. I'm your host, Shannon. I'm a CFO and CPA who left a career serving Fortune 50 companies in Wall Street to help business owners just like you make life-changing wealth with your business. These episodes are meant to be super tactical and actionable, but please remember, consult your own financial professional before you implement anything you learn in this podcast. Now, if you'd be interested in working with us to do so, check out the show notes for more information about our company, Keep What You Earn Co. All right, let's start the show. So I recently had a call with a prospective customer, and we were talking about the cost of services, right, as we always do. And they brought up a great question that I think most people are thinking but don't ask when they talk to us. And that is that, our services are maybe 10x or more times their bookkeeper's fee. Say your bookkeeper charges you $350, $500 a month, maybe even $1,000 a month. That's fair. And you go, okay, why should I be paying 10 times that for a fractional CFO? Tell me about that. And here's the situation. If you are running a business over $5 million in revenue, first of all, you're probably outgrowing this bookkeeper, and you're probably even talking to us because you feel like you're not getting enough. So you're getting P&L reports at the end of the month, your transactions are allocated, they're organized, you have the data. But the issue is that you're unable to turn that into decisions because you don't have insights to accompany that data, okay? Number one. Number two is that it's a very surface level relationship. This bookkeeper probably has dozens of clients and you are part of their system, right? They don't actually intimately understand your business or your industry. Hopefully they do, but most of the time they will not, especially if you're paying a lower rate. So there's that. Now, a bookkeeper is really charged with collecting the data that you need to organize your finances, okay? And your CPA/tax professional is charged with publishing the story and sending it to the IRS in terms of how your money spent the year and how much money you made and all that stuff. So when it comes to a fractional CFO, the service is very different. It's in terms of a constant availability, a constant collaboration, and a constant energy of forecasting future-focused projections and decision-making using that data as a catalyst to your growth. And while that all sounds very nice, I understand that finance as a function is something that is a black box to most business owners. So you're probably hiring someone in finance and you're like, okay, if I can get someone for $500 a month, that is ideal because that's all I really need, right? That's all I really need. And is it all you really need? Yes. But is just using what you really need going to help you grow? Probably not. When it comes to marketing, what I really need is somebody to go and say, post on social media or something like that, right? I need somebody in like a staff role. They're going to be really good at posting on social. They're going to be really good at tracking the metrics. They're going to be really good at maybe even copywriting and using all that. But they're not going to be able to tell me what's working, what's not working, adjust the strategy, pivot, And if you don't have somebody in that seat that's helping steer the ship, then you're really just collecting a bunch of data and you're not even sure what it's telling you. And if you're not able to read a profit and loss report like a savvy professional, then you're really just hiring people to publish a story in a language you can't read. Imagine if you hired someone to publish a manuscript in another language. Like, that doesn't make any sense. So what the CFO actually does is that function helps convert data into decisions fundamentally for your business. Find out how much are you making per service, per treatment, per product that you're selling. What is the ideal blend of these products that you should be selling? What are the goals that you should be hitting? What are KPIs that will help you get there? We'll help you with that. But also, this question pops up on why does this person cost, 10 times a bookkeeper? I want you to think of it this way. If the bookkeeper is not enough and a CFO service is something that you have an appetite for in your business, then what I would challenge you to think of is, okay, you've outgrown the bookkeeper. So the bookkeeper is no longer your solution. They should not be part of the conversation or be a comparable, because if you think about it, you've already decided that you've outgrown this service. So what I want you to do is think about, well, what's the alternative, right? What's the next step? The next step would be hiring someone in your company to serve as a finance function. This is typically called a senior accountant, a controller, or something like that, in charge of the accounting.
Hey there, are you on LinkedIn? I love connecting with listeners and other professionals and business owners on that platform. I gotta say, I'm really enjoying it. So if we're not already connected, make sure you send me a connection request after this episode.
So you hire someone in, say, a controller seat. Well, a controller seat, again, they'll be responsible for compiling all of the numbers for you. You will still have to interpret them somehow, most of the time. But this controller might run you a bill of 150 to 200,000 for someone who's really, really good, by the way, someone who's well experienced and really good. And you want that. If you're going to invest in someone to come into your company and you're going to invest in their benefits, their training, their development, you're going to want someone who is a decently high performer. You don't want somebody messing with your numbers who doesn't know what they're doing. So if you bring someone in, they better know what they're doing. And that's going to cost you a pretty penny, unfortunately. Why? Because the finance industry, right? The accounting industry, we command high salaries. We can go on the market. We can go back to Wall Street. We can make good money. And you're going to be competing with that, unfortunately, as of right now, as of 2025, who knows? But as of right now, they command a high salary. So this puts you in a tough little pickle because the bookkeeper is not enough. But if you hire somebody, 150K a year, geez, that's a lot. That's a lot for somebody full-time just to compile all the numbers and report to me. And I still have to do their performance reviews. I still have to train them. I still have to do their benefits. I still have all these things. Yep, that sounds like a pain in the butt. So this is why the fractional solution exists. And this is how it should be compared. Because really what we're doing as a fractional CFO firm is we are providing you a solution that is the alternative to the full-time hire, not the alternative to the bookkeeper, because you've already decided the bookkeeper isn't enough, and now it's a cross between a full-time hire and whatever else there is. Consider us the whatever else there is. But what we do is we come in, and I'll give you an example. Here at Keep What You Earn Co., we have 4 professionals, 2 of which are CPAs, one is a candidate, and one is a master's in accounting. And what we do is we collaborate and we work on your account. Now you get 4 brains, 4 whole brains. We don't use part of our brain. We use all of our experience. We bring it to your business, all 4 of us. Can you imagine how much that would cost you if you had that in your business? All 4. It's easily over $650,000, $700,000 in salary spend. It's wild sitting in that room together between everyone who works on your business. But in reality, all you're paying is less than 100K a year. And when you think about it, that is, somebody with 2 or 3 years of experience in accounting, a senior staff. So for the price, less than the price of a controller, right? Definitely less than the price of a controller, but less than the price of a staff accountant, you're getting 4 people who could be your CFO, 4 people with decades of experience. So that's why the fractional solution works. That's why we do what we do, and that's why we charge what we charge, because we provide a service that is a multiple of output for a fraction of the price. If you hired each of us individually, it'd be wild how much you would be spending on salary, not to mention the development needed and the training. And when you have high performing people, when you have executive level employees, they command a lot of development and training. You need to support them, nurture them, and make them feel involved. And I'm not saying that you don't want to do that as a business owner with somebody on your team in a finance executive function. But what I am saying is that's a lot of responsibility that you don't necessarily need right now. You really just want to make sure your bases are covered on the financial end, and we got you on that front. So that's what it comes down to when it comes to fractional CFO as a solution, because we want to be seen as a fractional CFO industry, seen as the alternative to the full-time hire, not the alternative to the $500 a month bookkeeper. It's not even the same league. And much love to my bookkeepers out there, but it's just not the same function. It's not the same level of work. It's not the same amount of commitment and time and energy and expertise needed. It's just not. It's not comparable. And the bookkeeping is table stakes just to have a business. You should be tracking your books. But if you want to grow a business, if you want to empower a business and perform as a business owner, and you want to get bought out, you want to exit, you want to scale, it takes strategy, it takes intention, and it takes the insights that will help you avoid a lot of pitfalls, avoid a lot of mistakes, and really help you accelerate that scaling that you never knew you could. And, take it from our clients' words, they've said that all the time about what we help them with is we've saved them years off their business life of making mistakes and figuring things out because we had the insights to help them. And we can do that for you too. So if you want to learn more about fractional CFO and how it works and what exactly you get with all this, check out our website, go to keepwhatyouearn.com or shoot me a message. I'm at Shannon K. Weinstein on Instagram. You can also find Keep What You Earn all over the socials. Hit us up, let us know if you're interested in chatting with us, and we would love to talk to you soon.
Okay, so if you've been listening to the show for a while, you know I love talking about profit and cash flow. But if you've mastered these things, the next level thing to be focused on is your customer value. If you have to constantly hustle to sell more and hit your revenue goals, it's important to think about how you can deliver more value, build retention, and maximize the lifetime profitability of every customer. When you invest in a power session, we're able to dive into your customer acquisition cost and determine some personalized strategies to decrease your costs and increase the lifetime value of your customers. Click the link in the show notes to learn more.